While my husband's away with his mistress, I have been living life to the fullest. I have been waking up at noon, shopping all day long, and ordering takeout. Life has been amazing. To my surprise last night, my doorbell rings and it is my mother-in-law. Apparently, my husband sent her over to keep an eye on me and make sure I don't do anything crazy. When I showed up at my husband's job to find out if he was actually cheating on me, his car was not in the parking lot and he did not take any of my calls. I got off the car and asked one of the girls if they knew where my husband was. She said he was out with his assistant training her. I was so pissed I went home and smashed his fucking PlayStation. I have a feeling my husband's cheating on me with one of his coworkers. So I made this and I'm going to pop up at his job to surprise him for lunch and see what the fuck is really going on. My husband is on another business trip, which is code for he's with his mistress, and I'm fine with it. You see, when I packed his bags for his little business trip, I swiped the credit card and I'm spending all his money. I told my grandma that my husband was cheating on me, and she says that it is completely normal for our men to blow off steam and have an affair with their assistants once in a while. She says I better pray that he forgives me for smashing his PlayStation because he's such a good provider. My husband refuses to wear his wedding ring to work because he claims it to be unprofessional. Being that my grandma raised me to be the perfect little housewife, I figured out a way for him to have it on him at all times. I whipped him up this delicious French toast breakfast sandwich, shoved it inside the eggs, and shoved it down his fucking throat. Ever since I showed up at my husband's job to find out if he's actually cheating on me, he hasn't been home or returned any of my calls. Finally today, he texts me and says that he's ready to talk. When he arrives, he's so mad at me and he says that I crossed the line. And then he demands me to pack him a bag because he's going on a business trip and he said he'll deal with me when he gets home. I asked my husband for permission to buy a new cutting board because mine was getting old. He approved and took me to IKEA. However, the AC system was down, so I had to walk around the entire store fanning him with the piece of cardboard I found. I almost pushed the fucker down the stairs. While I was on my knees this morning tying my husband's shoes before work, he says he received the electricity bill and it was extremely high. He wants me and the children to start using candles for lighting. I told my husband he can go fuck himself. I make my own income now on TikTok and I will be writing my own checks. Whenever me and my husband argue, I have to be the one to apologize or he will not speak to me for weeks. So this morning while I was brushing his teeth, I had to apologize for not having dinner ready on time. You see, I had no idea the asshole was going to actually come home. Before my husband agreed to marry me, he told me I had to learn how to cook exactly like his mom. In fact, he was so serious, he had me live with her for one entire week to learn how to cook all of her recipes while he was at his bachelor party in Mexico. I should have fucking ran then. People ask me why I stay with my husband, and the answer is easy. However, I was raised by my grandma to be a classy woman, so I will not be saying why. I was also raised to respect marriage. Marriage is forever, till death do us part. Let's just hope he goes first. Whenever my husband tells me anything, I have to nod my head and agree with him or he becomes furious. I play along because my grandma trained me to be the perfect, obedient housewife. Today he tells me I have to start bathing in his old bath water because he's saving money for an upcoming business trip. But once he left to work, I let that bitch run. Every morning I sneak to the restroom and put on some makeup and fix my hair. I do this before I have to wake up my husband to give him his morning bath. My grandma says a woman should always look her best in front of her husband, and it's guarantee a happy marriage. I'm here to tell you that shit don't work.